Hello all, I'm Josh. This is Josh Build Stuff, but once again you can call me Discount Dr. Jones, and once again you can insert a whip sound here. Today we're talking about the all-new LEGO Indiana Jones Escape from the Lost Tomb set. This is set 77013. It was just released in April 2023. It contains 600 pieces and costs $40 here in the US. This set depicts the Lost Tomb from Raiders of the Lost Ark, better known as the Well of Souls by real Indiana Jones fans, and better known as the Lost Tomb by real LEGO Indiana Jones fans who are familiar with the original version of this set. But more on that later. This is the room where Indiana Jones and Sallah originally rescue the Ark of the Covenant and then immediately lose the Ark of the Covenant, and then Indiana Jones and Marion are trapped in this room/tomb and they have to find a way to escape, hence the name Escape from the Lost Tomb. This is one of the most famous and well-known scenes in 80s movie history, and personally it's one of my favorite scenes in the late great movie ride, which is now Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Disney's Hollywood Studios, which used to be Disney's MGM Studios. That makes sense to a limited number of people. In any case, this set does a decent job of depicting a very well-known scene in LEGO form, so today we're talking about all of the details, minifigures, play, features, comparison to the original set. I'll even give you a review on this set as my intonation continues to rise. All of that and more, starting with the minifigures. Whew. Of course, Indiana Jones is included in this LEGO Indiana Jones set. This figure is very similar to the one in the Temple of the Golden Idol set, but luckily there are no spider webs in the Lost Tomb. Instead, here Indiana Jones is surrounded by snakes. Marion is included here, one of my favorite Indiana Jones companions. She's wearing the dress that was just gifted to her by Bellic. She was trying to escape. Don't judge her, please. It kind of looks like a wedding dress, if you ask me, which is well timed for me because I'm about to attend a wedding. However, I'm trying to eat less red meat and the dining options were either ribeye or sirloin. So I responded with steaks. Why did it have to be steaks? Sallah is included here. Everyone should be so lucky to have a companion like Sallah. He is the best digger in Egypt. He's very well connected. He has 9 children, so no wonder he wanted to be away from home so often. LOL. Don't say LOL out loud, just kind of chuckle to yourself, and please don't read this part of the script word for word. Sorry, editor Josh. If you're asking, are you my mummy? The answer is yes, assuming you bought this set and are a fan of Doctor Who. This figure wouldn't reveal any of his details to me because he keeps them under wraps. But don't get too wrapped up in the subject, we'll talk more about snakes in a minute. Let's talk details of this set. Indy and Sallah rescue the Ark of the Covenant from this room, and then later Indy gets trapped in this room with Marion. There's an arch here, there's an ark here, there's a couple of statues. Later Indy and Marion need to escape. They knock over a statue, it knocks over this wall. They get into this like back room area, and there's a mummy there. They get scared, they later escape from the Lost Tomb, hence the name of this set. But let's talk details about the details. I love the look of this set. It's like an ancient Egypt aesthetic, which I really like as an older person. I'm really into like ancient Egypt documentaries, and I'm also into like World War II movies. I think that just comes with age at this point, but I love the overall look of this set. The centerpiece of this set should probably be the Ark of the Covenant. However, it's more like the of the Covenant in this case because it's not huge, it's not very shiny, it doesn't stand out very much in my opinion, but I get that LEGO had to kind of scale everything down to fit everything into this pretty compact set. However, I think a lot of the details surrounding that Ark are actually very well done in this set. We've got this golden archway kind of pointing the way to the Ark, these couple of big statues, this cool back wall, and of course a little hidden room in the back of this whole set. I think all of that is necessary to really make this a LEGO set. Otherwise, there wouldn't be anything in this set. You know what I'm saying. Like I said, there's this golden archway pointing the way to the Ark. I would call it the Arch of the Covenant, if you will. On the sides there, depicted in stickers, there's some like hieroglyphs on one side. There's even a little R2-D2 and C-3PO, a fun little reference to George Lucas's other small work known as Star Wars. You know, in the actual Indiana Jones scene, those 2 characters were actually in the background on the wall, kind of subtly detailed there, so it's fun that that little feature was thrown into this actual LEGO set. Also kind of egotistical of George to reference his old movies in his new movies. Also sorry about the stock image here. I call that the watermark of the Covenant. I also really like the way this back wall is built up in this set, kind of a nice backdrop for the whole thing. I would call that the architecture of the Covenant in this case. Obviously some of the details here are depicted with stickers, again more hieroglyphs. I would call those the art of the Covenant, but I like the subtle slopes and the differently colored pieces that are used to make up this back wall here. It really makes it feel like this tomb is crumbling in around us. I don't love that so many of the details are depicted using stickers in this case. I think there's even a Bionicle reference in one of those stickers, which I would call the mark of the arrogant in the LEGO designer's case, because we don't need a Bionicle reference in every new set at this point. Come on, guys. We've got these two large statues of Anubises, or Anubis eye? No, it's the Eye of Horus in ancient Egypt. Told you I was into ancient Egypt lately. No, we've got these two big, cool statues here, obviously depicting the ancient Egyptian dog god, better known as the Bark of the Covenant. And lucky for me, I prefer my ancient gods to have six-packs. It helps me hold them to an impossibly unattainable standard as a dude in my mid-30s. I know those are like scales on the real statue, but the six-pack bit was more fun. Just as long as it's not a six-pack of Bud Light, go woke, go broke, you know what I'm saying? I don't actually believe that. Just a bit of topical humor for those watching this video far in the future. Fittingly, this set comes with mini snakes, and by mini snakes I mean miniature snakes, because it's not actually that many snakes. I think you get like 7 in total. The real production had like 10,000, so this set loses some points on accuracy. But had I limitless resources, I could buy the remaining 9,900 and something snakes, but on LEGO.com right now they're like 25 cents a piece, so I think the total would come to like $2,498.25 to bring this total up to 10,000. The GoFundMe's in the description now. And speaking of snakes, this is Monty. Monty is a python, but hiss. You know we've reached a new low when we've resorted to ventriloquism. I'm always low. I don't have any feet. Why do you sound exactly like me? Why do you sound exactly like a snake? That's fair. That's offensive. Sorry. Speaking of the actual arc in this set, like I said before, it's not very impressive, but I think it gets the job done. We couldn't realistically expect LEGO to include a solid gold brick here. But as you might recall, the arc is a transmitter, a radio for talking to God. So why don't we give it a try? Hark of the Covenant. Good one. Omnipotent, more like omnipotent. Speaking of harking back to the past, it reminds me of a time I was at a diner with Michael J. Fox and I ordered us a couple of malts. He said shakes. Why did it have to be shakes? Sorry, God's not going to answer my calls after that one. There are some play features included in this set. You can tip a little snake through a wall, it falls down there. I hope it didn't hurt its asp. Get it? Asp. The main play feature here is where you can reenact this famous scene from the movie. Indy and Marion are trying to escape and they gotta go fast, their torches are going out. It's starting to get dark of the Covenant. Indy climbs Anubis, he tips him over, and like in Ring Around the Rosie, the wall fall down, revealing a very underwhelming back section of this set. Almost could have done without it, but I guess this includes another little play feature. You can pull this little pin here and it makes the mummy fall down and scare Marion. I just don't think a single sticker and a jump-scaring mummy quite do justice to such an exciting scene. And why does the mummy also have a six-pack? Why is everything in this set attacking my masculinity? Maybe I have a complex. As you can see, this new version of the set is actually quite comparable to the original, released back in 2008. That one was also called The Lost Tomb. They both have a lot of the same elements. An ark, snakes, Anubises. They even have the same little Star Wars reference because George's vanity knows no bounds. The previous version even had some of the same play features. Knock over a statue, it knocks over a wall. There's even a little jump scare. Back then it was with a skeleton. I can't wait for the new version where it'll be a jump scare from a vampire. Then I can reuse my stakes. Why did it have to be stakes line? The original version of this set did have a bit more charm. Maybe it's just because it's older, maybe it's just becoming more charming as it ages. I just wish people would say the same about me. Instead, they say the opposite. Heck, my own sommelier keeps saying I'm getting worse with age. He keeps likening me to a bad wine. He says I'm round, tense, and weak-bodied. I need a new sommelier. However, this new version is a better depiction of the scene as it was seen on the Great Movie Ride. And if you're wondering if I'm just going to use all of the comparison segments of these videos as an excuse to talk about Disney parks, well, the original Citroen Cabriolet vehicle from The Last Crusade does happen to reside at Disneyland currently, so you tell me. My final thoughts, all jokes aside, this is actually a really great set, especially for that price. 4 minifigures, a cool little environment, fun little play features. Overall, this is a definite buy for anyone who is an Indiana Jones fan. As always, please do let me know what you think about this set in the comments down below. Leave a comment or a remark of the Covenant. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all that. Choose your sommelier friends wisely, and when you whip it good. I'll see you next time. What do you call a snake that builds things? I don't know. A boa constrictor. What do you call a snake that bakes? Don't know. A python. What do you call a snake on a plane? I don't know. Reggie? A Boeing constrictor. I get why Indiana Jones hates snakes now. Oh, come on, that was hysterical. I'm leaving. And apparently you're coming with me.